February 1959. The Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia. 9 hikers, young, fearless, and full of life, embark on a journey that none of them will return from. What happened that night on Dead Mountain? And why, more than 6 decades later, does the mystery still chill us to the bone? It started as a thrilling adventure. 10 skilled hikers, mostly students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, their team led by a 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, set out on an expedition to conquer the freezing, unforgiving terrain of the Ural Mountains. They laughed, they sang, they took photos along the way. But none of them knew, they were walking toward their deaths. One member, Yuri Yudin, fell ill and turned back. A twist of fate that would save his life. The rest? They pressed on, their doom. February 1st, 1959. The group set up camp on the slopes of Kolet-Syakhl, a name that means dead mountain in the language of the indigenous Mansi people. It was an odd choice. A forested area nearby could have shielded them from the wind. They camped on an open, snow-covered slope. That night, something happened. Something so terrifying that the hikers cut open their own tent from the inside, abandoning all their supplies, jackets, boots, food, rushing barefoot into the freezing dark. Why? What were they running from? The temperature was below -30 degrees Celsius. No sane person would willingly run into that deadly cold. But they did. The Dyatlov group was scheduled to finish their trek and return by February 12, 1959. Dyatlov had assured their sports club that he would send a telegram upon their return. However, as days passed with no word from the hikers, concern turned into fear. By February 20th, their families demanded a search operation. The first 2 were found near a tree, barely dressed, with burned hands, as if they had clawed at the bark in desperation. The bodies of Dyatlov, Slobodin, and Kolmogorova were found between the tent and the tree, frozen solid. They 3 tried to crawl back toward the tent but froze along the way. But the last 4 bodies were the worst. 2 had shattered ribs, 1 had a crushed skull, but no external wounds. Almost as if they were hit by an inhuman force. And then there was Ludmila Dubinina, her tongue and eyes were missing. Their clothing highly radioactive. No signs of struggle. No clear cause of death. What happened to them? The avalanche theory. According to this theory, the Dyatlov group's own actions may have contributed to the avalanche. The group dug into the snow to create a flat campsite on the mountain's slope. This process could have weakened the layers of snow beneath them. That night, strong winds and fresh snowfall might have added weight to the already unstable snowpack above their tent. Late at night, the top layer of snow suddenly collapses and slides down, burying the tent partially. It may not have been a massive avalanche, but enough to scare them into immediate action. Believing a second avalanche was coming, they panicked and cut open the tent from the inside to escape. Since they fled so quickly, they didn't take their boots, jackets, or survival gear. Disoriented, they ran into the freezing night, making their way toward the tree line, hoping for shelter. How we say avalanche theory is good because no avalanche debris was found. The tent was still standing. How do you explain missing tongues and radiation? Soviet military experiment theory. Some believe the hikers stumbled into a top-secret Soviet military experiment, and paid the price. Key evidence. Radioactive clothing. Some of the hikers' clothes contain traces of radiation, hinting at nuclear tests. Glowing orbs. Eyewitnesses reported seeing strange orange spheres in the sky near the pass that night. Massive internal injuries, their crushed bones resembled damage from a shock wave or explosion, but with no external wounds, similar to high-pressure military tests. No rescue attempts. The Soviet government quickly classified the case, and officials refused to discuss it for years. Possible theories. The group wandered into a missile test zone and was accidentally exposed to a deadly explosion or chemical agent. A sonic weapon or shockwave blast disoriented them, forcing them to flee in terror. The military covered up their deaths to prevent public panic. While no official proof exists, many believe the government knew more than they ever admitted. But if the military was responsible, why leave the bodies behind? The Yeti attack theory, Dyatlov Pass incident. One of the wildest theories suggests that a Yeti, or some unknown creature, attacked the hikers that night. Key evidence. Strange footprints. Some reports claim there were large, unidentified footprints near the site. Massive injuries. The crushed bones of some hikers were consistent with a powerful assault, as if something extremely strong had struck them. Journal entry. The group's journal included a chilling line, "We now know snowmen exist." Was it a joke, or a warning? Fleeing in panic, the hikers cut open their tent from the inside and ran into the freezing night half-dressed, as if escaping something terrifying. Why it's doubtful. No claw or bite marks were found on the bodies. No reports of aggressive Yetis exist in the region. The missing tongue and eyes of one hiker could be explained by scavenging animals rather than a beast. While the Yeti theory is mostly dismissed, the sheer brutality of the injuries still makes some wonder, what if something monstrous was really out there? Even after decades of investigation, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in history. Was it a freak accident? A military cover-up? Or did something far more sinister happen on that frozen mountain? We may never know the full truth, but one thing is certain, those 9 hikers encountered something that terrified them beyond reason, something that made them flee into the deadly cold, never to return. What do you think happened that night? Let us know your theories in the comments. If you like, then smash that like button, drop a comment and express your views, and hit subscribe and press bell icon for more jaw-dropping content every week. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Stay wild, stay curious.